guys. I hope everyone's doing okay. If you are like me and were affected by Helen, I do hope that you're doing well. A lot of people that we are either in contact with or have been in contact with or can't contact. Um, so far, so good. Western North Carolina, which some of you may not know, we have property in, was hit really, really hard. We just heard today from someone, made us quite happy. But with that being said, um, I had no idea that you guys would appreciate my candidness and my direct information and to the point. But so many of you have reached out to me and said that you appreciate it and thank you. And I want you to know that that means the world to me. For you to take the time not only to watch my video, but to take the time to message me touches my heart. You guys have asked many questions after Helene, in the responsibility of the cruise lines as well as your responsibility. What's covered? What's not covered? Should I have travel insurance? If I miss a port, what's going to happen? Um, and then with that being said, I don't know if many of you know or if you're yet aware, there were several cruise lines that were not able to get back into Port Canaveral, being one of them, Tampa being another one of them, and of course Miami. Um, they were delayed anywhere from 1 to 2 days getting back into port. Obviously, safety being their number one priority, making sure everything's okay back at the port before they come back in. And ships are prepared for that to a point. They are prepared if something happens, they have more food on board. The cruise lines are prepared for that. They're prepared for what if. So myself, I would not be terribly upset spending a day or two extra, but that pressure of knowing that I'm supposed to be back might, as some of you said, weigh a little heavy on you. But Icon on the Seas, through Royal Caribbean, also was having to come back into port, and their reason was completely separate. Their reason was mechanical issues. Um, Brand new ship, beautiful, huge ship. And you think, hey, it's brand new, there shouldn't be any problems. You're absolutely correct. But, you know, it has moving parts, and anything with moving parts has the ability to break down. And in this case, it was unexpected mechanical issues that brought them back into port. I'll read here that Royal Caribbean spokesperson said that they have apologized for the inconvenience. They've been in communication with all the guests directly. They will be refunding a day's worth of the cruise to those that were actually on the ship. They missed St. Thomas. Um, for those that aren't aware, they missed the port of St. Thomas there, so they'll be refunded back. But also, they had to cancel the upcoming cruise, which was this Saturday. They had to cancel it, um, so they refunded not only the entire cruise back to those that were involved, but they also gave them a credit towards a future cruise. And again, while that may be so horribly, upsetting, it seems as if they have done their part to say, listen, we know this was a massive inconvenience. We know that people plan sometimes years in advance to go on something like this. But with that being said, they've done their part to try to make it right. Um, for those that ask, do they cover if you miss a port? No. And I wanted to verify, and for those of you who know me, know I follow Emma Cruises. Make sure, okay, is she thinking like I'm thinking? Is she feeling the same way I feel kind of scenario? She is someone I trust in highly. And even she said, no, it is not a general rule that you get compensation from the cruise line, for a port that you have missed. So there are some cruise lines that are better at making sure that, you get a refund. And then there's some that go, it happens. And in case you don't know, in your contract or in the information of all that wonderful stuff that you do when you book your cruise, you're actually signing a contract that says at any time they have the right to change destination, change ports, change anything. Now, is it a common rule? No, no, it is not a common rule. But for any reason, whether it be weather or whether it be an unrest at one of the ports, you know, it could be a gamut of things, but they do have themselves covered in that contract so that they do not have to compensate you if they choose not to. So that's where travel insurance comes into play for those of you that have asked, is there one better than the other? But I will tell you that there is a difference. There is absolutely a difference. I'll put up here some information so you can see not everything is covered. Um, or here, I'll put it up somewhere right there. So that you can see that not every plan is the same. And a comprehensive plan means that even if you choose to cancel, say you had this and you see that, there's a storm coming or there's something going on that you're like, oh, I don't know if I should be going on a cruise right now. They do have comprehensive traveling coverage, which is totally different than just your basic medical coverage or, missing a port kind of coverage. So you have like your basic coverage, and then you have something that's like, okay, this is a little bit more. So when you're looking for cruise insurance, whether it's through the cruise line or through someone else, make sure that it's covering what is most important to you. Simple things like pre-existing conditions, if you're looking into medical, some of them do not cover pre-existing conditions. So make sure you're looking at that. As far as medical on the ship, no, it's completely separate. And no, your insurance 9 out of 10 times is not going to cover it because it is basically you are out of the United States or you're out of wherever you're traveling from. So that insurance, while it is wonderful to have on hand while you're traveling, your insurance company might not be covering something on that ship. It's in all likelihood they're not going to. So having that separate medical policy, God forbid, I mean literally God forbid. But I have been on a cruise ship where someone was air flighted off. I have no idea. I know that it's medical problems. I have no idea what happened, but that is a reality, sadly, that something could happen. And whether or not you think an ambulance or an air ambulance is expensive on land, I can promise you that it is much, much more if you have to be airlifted off a cruise ship. So, separate from weather, that's just something if you're looking at travel insurance that I would tell you to include looking at in your plan. You know, you may never use it, but if you ever had to use it, travel insurance is so inexpensive for the time, and I think it's like 90 days that, if you get out the travel insurance, you have 90 days for a one trip policy kind of situation. It is absolutely worth it considering we are not in control of everything that happens around us. And if something was to happen, most of us spend a pretty penny on a trip, and the last thing you want to do is lose all your money. You don't want to lose all your money. So I personally think that travel insurance is worth it. So we have insurance through American Express through our credit card. If you have a credit card that you can um, purchase that through, that's great. Their travel insurance is actually, I have found, very good. The cruise line itself offers you something, again, if that's something you're going to take on, make sure that it's covering exactly what you need covered. With that being said, I hope this answers some of your questions in regards to the unknown, whether it be weather or something else. If you have any questions, if I didn't touch on something that you think is important, or that you say, hey, what about this? Ask me. Um, I try to let you know that I am available for you guys to ask questions. Because just because one person feels this is absolutely correct and this is the way it should be, doesn't mean that everyone else feels the same way. So ask. I'll do my best to answer. As always, I appreciate those of you that have subscribed. It means the world to me. If you haven't subscribed, I was just made aware that some people think if you subscribe, you have to pay money. No, subscribing only tells YouTube, in this case, only tells YouTube that you like my content, that you want to see more of my content, so they continue pushing it out to more people so that my channel can grow and that I can get more behind the scenes content for you guys, more information for you guys. The bigger my channel, the more these companies are willing to open up to me, and I'm able to get you more and better content. So that is what subscribing does for you guys. But it's just a click. Until the next adventure, tomorrow I'll be posting about South Carolina, and there'll be quite a few coming up about that. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. $50 a person. I don't even know what to address that because I have no clue what that just was. or if it's on this video. But in case it is, my chest actually is pumping right now. Something just blew up behind me. It didn't exactly sound like a transformer, but it could have been with all the weather that we've had. So I have completely lost my train of thought. Wow, this will be in the bloopers.